All right, you guys, celebrating 5 years sober as of yesterday, March 22nd, 2024. Super happy about that. I'm gonna show you a little coin a friend of mine got, 5-year coin. It's kind of cool. Shout out to Mitchell. I also got my 4-year coin here too, right next to it. I like to drive around. I put them on my dashboard, so it's always kind of front and center, you know, because for me it was the biggest event that took place in my life, was getting sober, finding that clarity, finding that purpose, finally, after all those years. And so in honor of the 5 years, I just want to do a video on 5 highlights of, you know, things you pick up from getting sober. And, you know, I'll start with this. I'll talk about the whole point of getting sober is to essentially create a new relationship with yourself. Okay, building that new level of respect for yourself, building a new life, it's a new level of clarity. It's being able to look in the mirror and be proud of that person, have respect for that person, living a life of purpose, living a life of intent, pursuing your true potential. That's what all this is really about. I mean, we could sit here and talk about addiction all day and how addiction just has so many people wrapped up, and it's very hard to get out of. It's true, it's very hard to get out of. It's one day at a time, but getting sober is really about everything I just mentioned there. It's not just, oh, I stopped drinking and I stopped using drugs and my life is better. It's like, no, it's the beginning of a whole new life. It's not just that one thing. Once you remove the drugs and alcohol, typically you're faced with your demons that you never really wanted to face. You're faced with all the things that you had been kind of sweeping under the rug, your imperfections, right? So getting sober is where it starts, okay? And then you're rebuilding the relationship with yourself. And then everything kind of piggybacks off that. But anyways, all right. What are some of the 5 highlights that I was thinking about? Number 1 is self-discovery. I was just kind of talking about that a little bit. Self-discovery, personal growth. That's number 1, because it all begins when you first get sober. You have an experience. You typically, it's a very humbling experience, and it pushes you into isolation, kind of like, oh fuck, like I really fucked up. I can't keep drinking. I can't keep doing drugs. I fucked up bad. And when you can do that, and then you can go back into a period of, or you can go forward into a period of introspection, kind of isolation is a good way to put it. Honestly, that's what happened to me. And it was the best fucking time period I ever went through, because I've never dug that deep into getting to know myself. You're always so busy, wrapped up in life, trying to appease other people, doing this, doing that. Oh, I got to be at this function. I got to be at this. It's like, hold on. When you go back and you really go through a period of introspection, and what was I saying? Oh, isolation too. It's like the only fucking time in my life where I really dug deep for like a whole year. I didn't go to events. I didn't go to anything. I mean, it was like a year and a half, I think it was, for me, where it was just introspection. And it wasn't total isolation, because I was still working and all this, but I was not going out. I was not doing anything. It was just hard work. Rehab, Alcoholics Anonymous, all this hard work. And I got to tell you, it was one of the hardest periods of my life, but it was definitely the most rewarding period of my life. Why is that? Because I got to know my fucking self. How many people do you know that will never get to do that in their lifetime? I know a ton of them. Probably the majority of people. So this is very important. That's number one. Number two, physical health. Well, this is pretty self-explanatory. Alcohol is poison. I don't think anybody's going to argue with you on that. Drugs, not good. Not improving your physical health at all. Physical health, very important on the list. Doesn't need a whole lot of explanation. But we neglect it when we are in active addiction. And your physical health is the most important thing, because once you lose it, I don't care what you have. You could be a billionaire. Once you lose your physical health, nothing else matters. All right. Number three, mental clarity, clearer thoughts, better decision making. This, another one, pretty self-explanatory, but my God, when you really remove the drugs and alcohol and you get that mental clarity after a period of time, probably the first couple weeks or month, you'll be a little bit all over the place, but over time it gets better and it gets better. Mental clarity. Number four, emotional stability and resilience. This is huge. I mean, think about when you're using drugs and alcohol, your emotional stability is not really there, because when you're using drugs and alcohol, you're not thinking clearly. Like you have all the answers within you already, okay? But when you're using drugs and alcohol, you're looking in the wrong places, causing you to make rash decisions, stupid decisions. And my God, I mean, how many people are gonna say, oh, you know, well, I got too intoxicated last night. I did some shit that I regretted. You know, it's like you're not making clear decisions. So, anyways, emotional stability, resilience. That's number four. Number five, better relationships. Your relationships can begin to heal once you get sober. God knows a lot of us did quite a bit of damage in active addiction, and it's time to get healing on that. So your better relationships, it's when you make that decision, people can begin to trust you again. Your communication is better. I mean, that's what relationships are built on: trust, communication, reliability. Oh my God. I mean, me being 5 years sober now, everybody knows it. There's a factor, there's a sense of reliability that people know. I mean, they just know what I'm going to be up to. It's not a secret anymore. It's like, oh, Brett, oh yeah, he's going to be at the freaking gym, or he's going to be working, or he's going to be, God, what the hell else do I do? That's pretty much it. But anyways, rebuilding these relationships with your family, with your friends. You guys, this is probably one of the most underestimated parts of getting sober. I mean, that has the power to change your life. And let's not forget about better relationship with others, yes, but let's not forget about the better relationship with yourself. Like we're talking about in the beginning of the video, the relationship with yourself. Your whole life, your experience in this reality stems from the relationship with yourself. If you take away anything from this video, that's it right there. That's why you should get sober. Anyways, that's it, guys. Appreciate you all. Have a great day.